Hello world, this is Cocoroom, heavenly garden in the middle of Kamagasaki.
Hello world, this is Cocoroom and I'm Dan, your international radio host. So on today's episode, I will be talking about the mochitsuki or mochi pounding for the New Year's in Cocoroom's very own backyard. I'm here on a Monday. Today's the 27th of December, so Christmas has finished and we're waiting for the New Year to come. So now something interesting about mochi and the New Year is, so it's a Japanese tradition to eat mochi at New Year's so that you can have good fortune for the coming year. Now, I'm here and it's around 11:40 right now, and the night before, the Cocoroom staff had soaked the mochigome or sticky mochi rice, which they need to cook and for around 40 or 50 minutes, and then we're going to pound it in what's called an usu. It's like a giant mortar that's made of wood, and it has a really smooth bowl on the top of it where they're going to pound the mochi with a mallet. I'll get back to that later. So what you need to make mochi usually is, like I said earlier, mochigome, or a kind of sticky rice that's also short grain, one which you tend to get in Japan a lot. And also the usu or mortar, you also need some mallets and pestles, which you use to kind of grind the mochi. Something that's really important also is water. So you need to soak the mallets like I'm seeing right now in the backyard, because the water keeps the mochi off the mallets, so you can have a more efficient process where you make more mochi. So no mochi is wasted if you coat your mortar, your pestles, and also your mallets with water. So the mochi comes off and you save your mochi. Okay, so the mochi's almost finished cooking in the steaming baskets, or seiru as they call it. Shoyu-san just applied some kinako powder on what looks like trays for the mochi. There's these wooden trays that we are going to make the mochi in later. I don't really know what they're called, but everyone's calling them burobuta or hachibuta. Can someone please tell us? If anyone has the correct name for a tray where you put mochi in to roll it around, please leave your comments below and tell us. So right. So Minoru-san is now pounding the mochi. You need to pound it straight, because if you have a weird angle as you strike the mochi with a hammer, it's going to fly off or something. Yeah. Oh! Okay. The mochi was a little bit sticky. I don't think there was enough water, so yeah, it stuck to the mallet earlier. So in between some swings, you gotta add a bit of hot water to the mochi. There's someone doing that right now, and that makes sure your mochi batch is moist. So until you can get it to the right consistency where you can mold it into little mochi cakes. So when you add water to the mochi gome batch that you're supposed to pound, you're meant to fold it so you keep water and moisture in, and that helps you get the mochi to the right consistency. Pounding the mochi with a hammer is a lot of fun, so a lot of people want to turn. We have a line now. So when it comes to mochitsuki or pounding the mochi, there's a kind of rhythm involved which I don't quite get. But I think that's what the taiko drumming is for, to sort of encourage that. Minoru-san from pounding the batch with a little bit of rhythm. So the person applying the water now has changed as well. So now we have Shoyu-san adding water and folding the mochi batch between swings. She's trying to do it as fast as she can. Ideally, it's once per swing when you add and fold. It's really difficult to do. You have to do the timing just right. And if you add too much water, it gets too wet, so it's not sticky. What's really amazing about Shoyu-san is it looks like she's done this plenty of times before. She just sort of covers her hands with water and rubs the mochi batch with it all over. And yeah, that's it. So the drumming is done, which means the pounding is done as well. It's now time to roll the mochi batch into some kinako or rice powder on the table, and then we're going to make some smaller mochi pieces out of it. And this is how it's done. The batch of mochi we were pounding fell to the gravel in the garden, and now it's ruined. I don't know how we can save this one. Oh dear. It's looking pretty bad, but yeah, we're all having a good laugh at it. Looks like they're trying to save it and get rid of the gravel somehow. A little bit of it can be saved. There's some of the mochi that's still stuck in the mortar, in the usu, so some of it is safe. So now we just finished pounding the mochi, and what happens after that is we make the mochi dumplings. We just take bits out of the bigger mochi batch and roll some little balls of mochi, so it's all bite-sized and it's ready to eat. We ate some for lunch. So mochi can go really well as a kind of savory rice cake, so you can dip it into any kind of sauce or stews if you want, and that's what we did for lunch. It was really good. I really enjoyed the experience. Because I've never actually eaten mochi on New Year's Day, so this is a first for me, and it was a lot of fun. Yeah, making the mochi and eating it together with people. It all ties with the social inclusion theme of Cocoroom, which is what we're all about here. Now, after lunch, we pounded another batch of mochi. This time I got to pound it with the mallet as well. And there's a rhythm to it. It took me a while to get sort of used to, but the way I'd say it is you strike the hammer at a straight angle and go right after the person who pounds before you. Yeah, I didn't go first because I was too scared. But yeah, I was a little scared for Minoru-san because he was wetting the mochi for us. Luckily, they're really experienced and they just told us when he'd do it, like straight off. So that was good. It was all safe. Really fun. Right, so while we were out pounding mochi, some of the friends of Cocoroom prepared some mochi dumplings for us. I see 3 bowls right now. There's a bowl with mochi and natto. There's a bowl with mochi and nori or seaweed. And there's also a bowl with some mochi and what looks like a sweet syrup. I forget what it's called because I don't really eat this, but I've seen it before. That last one is called sato joyu, and it's a sweet kind of sauce for the mochi that's a mix of soy sauce and sugar. I've had it a long time ago and I remember it being nice, so it'd be nice if I can have a bit of that again today. Let's go taste some mochi. The first thing I'm trying is this mochi with natto. Really daring, I guess. I actually like natto, so I don't mind it.
固まる。早く食べるね。
So I just ate a mochi dumpling with natto, and it's kind of what I expected. Natto for me has this slightly bitter umami taste that's quite nice. It's got a slimy texture. It's easy to swallow, and really nice. And together with the mochi, it feels like eating, like rice and natto, except it's a different texture. Quite nice. Okay, so the next dumpling I'm trying is the sato joyu one. It's supposed to be sweet. It's been maybe 3 years since I've had that sauce. Let me try it right now. Okay, so it's the sato joyu, which I said before, is a mix of soy sauce and sugar, and it's quite nice because it's got that sweet and sour, no, not sour, sorry, sweet and salty kind of mix to it, which is really nice. Goes well with the mochi dumpling. I want to try the one with nori or seaweed, but it looks like it's the only one left, and it's better left for someone else. We're going to start batch number 6. Everyone's in on the action. That's the rhythm of mochi pounding. So, when it comes to making the little balls of mochi that many of you might be familiar with, there's kind of a technique for giving that shape out of the big batch of mochi that we just pounded. You're meant to like cover your hands with the kinako powder or rice flour powder, and squeeze a ball out of the batch between your index finger, between your forefinger and your thumb. That's right, so between your forefinger and your thumb, you just squeeze a little mochi ball out of the bigger batch. Yeah, thanks for coming today and trying out some of this mochi.
Okay.
So I see you're dipping your mochi into the sato joyu, and of course there's also the natto one and the nori one. Which of these do you like best?
Which of these?
Yeah.
Well, I like sato joyu the best. Yeah.
Oh, really nice.
Because it's this one sato joyu is very familiar.
Oh, okay.
We eat this in our family also.
Yeah, that's right. The first time I tried mochi was with sato joyu as well.
Yeah, very familiar.
Yeah.
Very popular.
Did you try the natto one?
Natto one I tried, and this is the first time I tried. It's good. Oishi.
Natto mochi oishi desu. Oh yeah, I actually like it as well. Who you heard was the person who just made these dumplings. Yeah.
Did you try?
I haven't yet. I'm a little scared.
This is seaweed.
Yeah, that's true. I could try it. How was it?
Huh?
How was it?
This seaweed, very tasty.
Oh, you like it, so it's good. Yeah, maybe I should have tried it. So, I see a lot of people go for the sato joyu as well. So, I guess that's what's familiar to most people. So, that's what everyone goes for. So that's all I have to say about today's event. Those are my observations. This is Dan. Thank you for listening, everyone. Bye for now.
Hello world, this is Cocoroom.
So that's it for today's episode. Thank you for listening and have a happy new year to everyone. See you in the next year.
Hello world, this is Cocoroom.